Welcome to Space Socket. A 25-year-old woman says she gave birth for a thug and now regrets it. Kevin Samuels steps in to check her. Let's react.
Oh,
Hi, how you doing?
good. Your first name again?
Amber,
How old are you?
5.
What's the disagreement?
I just have a question. I wanted to know if you think I should leave my baby daddy alone.
Don't know. How many kids you got?
1,
How old is your kid?
he's 3.
How's your child's father?
We have a up and down.
How old is your child's father?
Let's see, he's 34.
And you're 25?
Yeah,
How many kids does he have?
he has 1 other child.
Is the child younger than yours or older?
Older.
Then why are you asking should you leave him? I don't know. Why'd you have a baby with him?
That's a good question. Okay.
Is that give you your answer?
Yeah.
Really?
No, not really.
So why are you calling asking? Should I leave? So let me get this right. I'm like a fortune cookie or a magic 8 ball. Should I leave my baby daddy? And I'm supposed to have no information and just pull it out of the air.
Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, okay? We've been together for... Don't make that face.
Tell me what to do, young lady.
Okay. I'm sorry. We've been together for 5 years, and I feel like it's like no progress at all.
Okay.
But
all right.
we have a child, so that's what's like,
Do you guys live together?
Yes.
What does he do for a living?
He doesn't have a 9 to 5. He,
I know, I don't.
I can't say it online.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a case manager.
What does that mean? Like social worker?
Yes.
Did you go to college?
I'm in college right now.
So you had a baby for a D-boy.
Yeah, basically.
So you chose a street life. Enjoy. I don't want you out there with nobody else who's got a. You chose a D-boy as a case worker, and you think you want to visit that on to a 9 to 5 working man? No, thank you.
All I attract is, I don't know.
You attract what you are, like we all do. Okay. You laid down and had a baby with a man that has a child by somebody else, and you say he's in the streets. Well,
she belongs to the streets.
My question is, why should another man go out? Why should a man out here who's trying to do the right thing take on that with you and his child? Why should somebody take on you and try to be stepfather to a woman who says she had a baby by a dude who don't even want to say what he does for a living?
Right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, well, enjoy.
Hello. Let me ask you a question.
Nope.
My smoke is
Hold on. Hello.
Hi.
How old are you?
23.
All right. What's your question or your issue?
Well, this is called More Degrees, More Problems. And I was a communications major. And I want to know why you talk about communications majors.
How long have you been watching my show?
About a week and a half.
Mm-hmm. What are most okay, hold on. What can you use a communications degree for to earn?
I love that question. Actually, I want to use a communications major because I see myself working with you in Atlanta, Georgia, and actually being able to intern as a transactional analyst so that I can go back to school and carry on work with my communications major.
That's a bunch of words.
And I learned so much from communications major.
But how much money do communications majors tend to earn?
That's why I had to quit. I don't even want to find out.
I don't understand.
I was a sophomore at the University of Georgia, and it was a communications major that I finally declared before I quit.
So you dropped out of school?
I was at the University of Georgia, and technically I am a dropout.
Okay, so I don't understand the question. You said I'm a communications major, and you're asking why I say
the question is, communications is so important in the work.
It's a bullshit degree. No, no. That's what they don't teach what I do at university.
Exactly. And
Hold
I
on, stop. You got a lot to say and you don't know enough. Communications is a way to get women like you to spend money on college for something that's not going to pay you. Communications, political science, psychology, sociology, criminal
you said
justice,
criminal justice.
all these things are in the humanities when you should be focusing on science, engineering, technology, math, some sort of professional degree. Criminal communications, you can get that degree anywhere. And what does it do to the bottom line?
I think it's so important in our community. And also
To
my
do
next,
what?
well, I just want to know too.
To do what? It's important. Okay, you think it's important, but you can't say why.
I can.
Right, because far too many far too many of us want to sound smart when we're saying dumb shit. It's
I've
not.
used
It's not good. It's not a good degree. It doesn't matter.
I have used 5 tools for communications that I can list off.
Man, you cannot go onto the open job market and command a high income. You need high income skills. Competence gets compensated. And see, what you're showing is the example of good marketing.
Thank you.
No. That's a bad thing. It's a bad thing. You guys have been told that because you can string together multi-syllabic words, that it's going to impact or do something, and it won't. It's fluff. You need a degree that's going to actually give you some competency.
So why do we talk about bringing all these things to the table? Is that degree something we should bring to the table then?
Who said and bring what thing to the
I'm not
table?
sure if you said this, but this is definitely something that you or the people in my generation, and you kind of mentioned like we, like my age, we always talk about, or they always ask women, or they always ask a man, what can you bring to the table?
Those are two different things.
Because they might bring 2 different things.
A woman and a man are two different
I
things.
know, that's right.
Were you raised
I
with your mother and father?
I didn't hear you.
Were you raised with your mother and father in the household?
You said, was I?
Hmm.
Yes, sir.
All right. So what do you want to? So what do you plan on doing with your life?
Actually, I plan on taking the communications and not being yet graduated, learning how to use it in my own life and as well as spread it with others because, like I said, those 5 tools are so important and they're simple in relationships.
Man, you keep saying these are so important. They're not even important enough for you to finish the degree.
Right. Why didn't, so God
No, God
planned,
didn't. No, ma'am. I need you to stop worrying about the chat room and Instagram and understand that you're just being bubbly and trying to sound positive, but it's not making a lot of sense.
it has made much more sense when I quit school, when I put that degree on hold, and I am
But
just,
what are you going to do with yourself?
so that career path would be
What
super out
career
of.
path? What career path?
Actually, I would love to partner with Young Nails. My name is Alexandria Young, and
No. What are you going to do? Stop trying to promote yourself and use my platform to get attention. I'm not joking, young lady. I'm seeing a woman right now, a young lady who does not know what's going on. You're 23. You didn't finish college. Are you still living at home? Do you have a job? Okay. Then what's your plan for the next step of life?
I actually emailed you requesting written permission for the last live that I saw you on, and I would love to just take that work on and
Ma'am, my content is not a plan for your life.
your content is amazing. And
Thank you, but my content isn't. You don't have a plan.
I'm also not a career woman.
Okay, but you still have to eat and need shelter. Who's going to provide that for you?
And I need to provide for myself.
Okay, well, then let's turn down the bubbly. That's what I'm trying to ask you. What are you doing? It's like you're not in school, you're living at home. And you got a lot of things to say, and it sounds like dreams. That's fine, but you need some structure.
I agree.
Where's
My
your father?
He passed today, September 23rd.
He passed when? Yesterday?
Not this morning.
Sorry to hear that. Well, I hope you take some time to think about some of the things that
I
I'm
have
saying.
been.
Communications. On the surface, it sounds like something that could be very useful, but it's not something that's in high demand, and
It's not.
it's easy to attain. So something that's easy to attain has a low value. Accounting would be better than communications because at least you could do that. You could be a bookkeeper. You could do that from home. You could. It's a very useful skill set.
Thank you.
Um, and hopefully, when you have time to decompress and everything else, have some time to think. But you will need a structure for your life going forward. Even though things may be in flux right now, in the next several months, you're going to need a direction because at 23, you'll be 25 before you know it. Have a good day. Do, 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 do. Hello,
Hi, Kevin.
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am well. How old are you?
I am 39.
All right. So, what's the issue? What's the disagreement or the question?
Okay, so I've been actually watching your show,
Okay.
and I'm going to agree with a lot of things that you said. Like, you have to be a wife to become a wife, which I did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a wife.
All right.
I just recently, I didn't even become a wife until I lost about 90 pounds.
Mm-mm.
So we didn't get married. But part of the reason why I think he married me was because I lost the weight.
That'll do it.
Okay. But now we're in a situation where I'm just kind of like trying to get him to care more about himself. You get what I mean? I'm not trying to
Mm.
start over.
You have any children?
Yes.
How old is he?
He is 38.
Is he? You said you're married?
Mm-hmm.
How long you been married?
We've been married since March 28th of this year and together for 10 years.
All right. Is he need to lose some weight as well?
Yes. And get healthy.
Okay.
And I don't know how to go about.
Well, what does he do for a living?
He is a truck driver.
Okay.
I'm a whole 5 out here. I can accept that. You know, I'm working with a 5 myself.
I can't. So, is he over the road or is he at home every night?
He's at home every night.
All right. So who cooks dinner?
Me.
You got a smoke detector going on back there. You're married. I don't understand that. That's against the protocol. Then change what you cook. Change what's in the house. You can't eat what's not there.
Mm-hmm.
If you cook the meals, you change the menu.
Well, he eats out a lot while he's on the road.
But you said he's at home every night. Does he
He,
eat
he's,
at
he's at home every night.
Does he eat at home?
Sometimes.
Okay, when he's at home. Well, all right. First thing you gotta do is change the diet. And does he not want to exercise? How much does he weigh?
Like 260,
How tall is he?
6'5".
Oh, it's a big dude. Well, you'd be amazed at what would happen, and this is outside of my scope, but you'd be amazed at what happened if you just cut down on processed sugar. Sugar alone changes a lot. And if you control the meals, cook differently. More water, more vegetables, less fried foods, less things at the bliss point. Salt, sugar, fat. Uh, and do you guys do anything together? Like get up on the morning and on Saturdays and go walking, get bikes,
Well,
do something together.
I try to do that. He works a lot, which
I get
actually
it.
gives me the privilege to be a stay-at-home
I get
mother.
it.
You get me? So I try to get him to do that, but he's tired a lot. But then I
Well,
just like
he's
out.
probably tired because of the diet. So balanced diet, plant based, more water, more vitamins, all kind. There's plenty of information out there. I mean, it's a lifestyle. You can be healthier without and one thing begets the other. But if you cook, just cook healthier, smaller
Yeah.
portions.
And I kind of
So
feel like it's putting a damper on our marriage
your
because
sex life.
um that too, well, not really that, but that's not my main concern. My main concern would be more so like just him being happy within himself. Like I have to go through the
Well,
process of me trying to be happy so that I can actually be happy in the relationship, and now it's like I'm there and
this is where couples counseling starts. You've been married since March. You might as well get started now. You guys might as well learn how to talk to one another and communicate in a healthy way. Start the dynamic now before problems arise down the road. Because if you have these concerns and he doesn't know about them or they're not being addressed in a
well,
healthy way,
he does because I've
well,
brought him.
I get it. He may not be hearing you though.
A 25-year-old saying she regrets having a child with a thug isn't just emotion. It's a consequence conversation. Because choices in partners don't exist in a vacuum. They come with outcomes, especially when character and lifestyle were never aligned from the beginning. This is where Kevin Samuels often brought the focus back to accountability, because hindsight doesn't change results. Once a child is involved, the dynamic is permanent, and regret doesn't undo responsibility. It only highlights that the selection process was flawed from the start. The reality is, people don't just end up in these situations. They participate in them through attraction, tolerance, and decision-making. Ignoring red flags, confusing lifestyle excitement for stability, and prioritizing short-term emotion over long-term security all lead to long-term consequences. And now, the lesson becomes unavoidable. Character matters more than excitement. Because a man's lifestyle doesn't just affect the relationship, it shapes the environment a child is raised in, and that impact is lasting.